Another thing we should really consider here is that China is dealing with a population crisis, and they're deciding to take executive centralized action on it. The United States and the West is also dealing with a population crisis, and we're encouraging it and saying this is great. We need to save the environment. We need to stop making children. And we even have Elon Musk came out just a few days ago and said civilization is going to crumble if people don't have more children. And I believe his warnings are warranted. I think they're true.
I mean, how can this not be true, right? I mean, unless we're talking about some sort of weird meta transhuman future, which
we are.
Yeah. So let me just, I want to highlight the article Luke mentioned real quick. We have it from CNBC. Elon Musk says civilization is going to crumble if people don't have more children. The tech billionaire said low and rapidly declining birth rates are one of the biggest risks to civilization. I can sort of provide some evidence to Elon Musk's claim. There was a TED talk by a guy who tried to make his own toaster from scratch. How much does a toaster cost at Walmart? 20 bucks? 10 bucks.
Yeah.
10.
Wow. Yeah.
$10.
Yeah, it's really cheap.
Really?
The other day, yeah.
I just assumed inflation would have made it more expensive.
Yeah.
$10.
Yeah.
That means if you work at McDonald's, on average, depending on which city you work in, it's probably going to take you about an hour and a half to get a toaster. So this guy decided to make a toaster himself. It's impossible. He discovered it was not possible. Why? He could not synthesize plastics. He could make everything else. You could mine the ore, he could smelt it, he could make the wiring, he could make all of that stuff, the control mechanisms. But to get the plastic for the outside of the toaster, he had to mine the plastic, which effectively proves it couldn't be done. And the reason I bring this up in regards to Elon Musk is it shows the level of specialization among humans has grown so intense that no single person can make a thing. There's I'm forgetting who wrote the book, so forgive me.
What's it called?
It's Julie Borowski, I think.
Oh yeah.
Did she write No One Knows How to Make a Pizza?
I think so. I think that was her. Yeah.
I hope I'm getting the person right, because if someone else wrote it, they're gonna be mad at me.
Sorry.
But the point of the book was that cheese, pepperoni, tomato, sauce, the bread. No one person can make all of these things for the most part. A pizza's not that hard to make. What Elon Musk is basically saying is, and this is just one part of it, with the declining birth rate. One day we're going to be like, hey, who's there's no food at the supermarket. Oh, well, no one's driving trucks anymore. Well, why not? Because there's no one to drive trucks anymore. Well, what are people doing? People are doing other jobs. Right now, the unemployment, the amount of people who aren't working is half let me phrase it better. There's twice as many job openings as people without work. The problem is the people without work don't have the specialty for those jobs. This is what Elon Musk is talking about. We need specialties and specialists to advance technology. And if we don't, it doesn't happen.
He's right, too. And Elon Musk is the one who says, if you want more things, you have to make things, which sounds very profound. But when you talk to people who truly believe that milk grows out of store shelves, you realize that we might have a problem with conceptualizing where things come from. They do.
They do. During the primary in 2019 with Andrew Yang, I had people tweeting at me. I was like, if people aren't, I'm sorry. This was, I think this was last year. It was 2020. And I was like, if people aren't working to make milk, where will they get milk? And they're like, what do you mean, the store? And I was like, where do you think the milk comes from at the store? And they're like, what are you talking about? The store has milk. And I was like, wow. These people don't understand the concept of the supply chain. Now, I'm not saying everybody. I'm not saying any particular group of people. I'm saying there are people who really don't get it.
Well, we have been really, really lucky. Our society is super specialized and we don't have to spend all day farming and doing all this other stuff, but it makes us very spoiled. It makes us very insular, and we don't realize everything that goes into bringing us, for example, our pizza or our pencil or our milk on the store shelves, and it weakens us. And I think that might even be a component to men becoming weaker as well, and people not even being interested in having kids. I wonder if it's a hugely overarching societal problem of ease. That's just what I came up with.
Well, there's that aspect. There's diet. There's chemicals. There's also the lowering of the IQ of children because of lead and other poisons in our environment. There's a lot of things that attribute to it. The indoctrination centers that people call schools. There's so many different things that contribute to the destruction of the future of the United States that it's almost as if it's being done deliberately to this point, especially financially, economically. If you look at what's happening here, we are headed towards an utter disaster. disaster. We are falling off the cliff very soon. I think we're already off the cliff, but we're still in the moment where we think it's fun. It's not. There's going to be
where we think it's fun.
yeah. It's like, oh yeah,
We're flying.
the train went up for a little bit,
this
and then I think we're moments away from realizing, holy crap, there's a lot of consequences for our deliberate actions that have put us on this trajectory towards a wall. That's all the way down.
I'll just add one thing too. It's like we drove off the edge of the cliff.
Yeah.
We're flying through the air. And we're like going, wee. People are all cheering and screaming. And there's a few of us.
Jim Cramer's like, the economy's doing better than ever.
And there's a few people in the car going, guys, we're actually going to start falling down the cliff into that rocky crevasse. And then you got Oliver Darcy or whoever, he's in the car with us, and he goes, actually falling into the crevasse is a good thing.
It's a good thing. Yes.
We can make the
Right.
train fly. That's what I'm focusing on right now. So get on board.
Good luck, Ian.
Yeah, it's going
I
to take
hope
some effort, but it's going to happen.
What do you think, Jan?
Well, I would, you made me think of modern monetary policy.
Yeah.
You can just we can spend our way out of it, right?
Sure, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That works great for families and.
I have to believe that they're like high level banker and financial dudes that are like working around the Federal Reserve, and they're printing all of this money. It's digital, so they're typing all this money, and then as soon as some of these bankers get the money, they immediately convert it into something else. They're like, just send me the
Crypto.
money, and then they're buying crypto, they're buying
Yep.
silver, they're buying gold, they're buying land, and they're buying it in other countries.
Yes.
Because I'll tell you this, man. What Bitcoin fell from like 60, it was at 68 and it fell to
Yeah.
like 43. It's the holidays. So a lot of people expected this if you know what's going on with crypto. But even now, everyone's, I had people messaging me like, oh, were you talking all this good stuff about crypto saying it was going to be all big? And I'm like, dude, I bought it at like a couple grand. I'm like, of course it drops down, but I'm happy. When everything started getting bad, around last year, I started saying I didn't want to be holding on to US dollars. And so I decided not to. I decided to just, try and invest in the company as much as I can, get the equipment the company needs as fast as possible. Prices have gone way up. We have a guitar because we're recording a bunch of new music. And we got Pete Parada, formerly of The Offspring, who's working with us. Big fan. Awesome. Super excited. And I've got a standard Mexican Telecaster. It's a guitar. And I bought that thing for like $450, brand new. And now I have another standard Mexican Tele, and it was twice the price. And it's only been, I think, like 4 or 5 years or whatever, the price has doubled. I went to a guitar store, and the guy told me that if you order a guitar today, it's going to take you 18 months or whatever to get it. It's becoming harder and harder to get things. And people are not realizing it because there's a ripple effect. There was some leftist who tweeted like, this is a luxury problem. I can't remember who it was. She was like, all the rich people are just complaining because their luxuries are more expensive. It's like, yo, milk is up. But yeah, are you listening to the warnings? So we're at the industry, we're at an industry professional level. It's really difficult to get things like the internet. It's really difficult to get specialty equipment for it. It's ridiculously expensive because we're trying to get the best of the best to run a business. So we are seeing the problems. We're trying to get more space built at the studio. Instead, we have to get a different studio. We can't move the HVAC because the materials we need for it aren't being shipped in. They don't exist. Is a regular person complaining about whether they can get HVAC materials? No. But what happens next? It's a ripple effect. We got a bunch of articles popping up saying next year, sticker shock is going to cause an apocalypse for middle class workers. When they see the price jump, January 1st, I think it is, General Mills raising the price on all cereals by 20%. That means if you're like, I got a budget for cereal, box of cereal for my kids is $5, now it's going to be $6. Your budget's all off. And that may be $1 right there, but it adds up across the board because it's going to affect, the grains are going to affect everything.
Of course. Same with gas.
I opened up a bag of chips last night, and it was like a third of a bag of chips worth of chips. It was so sad.
Shrinkflation.
Yeah. So much empty space
Depressing.
in that bag. Oh, it didn't used to
Shrinkflation.
be that way.
People are posting photos of when they I bought a box of waffles, then came back, and the box is tiny.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, Americans eat way too much.
True.
Yeah.
When we were in Texas, we went to a diner, and the plate they gave me was like a trough. I was like, I can't eat this. You know.
I love it. I have to bring it home every time. Every time I go out in any kind of restaurant, I'm like, give me it to go. Anyway, I'm going to take it home, eat it later. I hate wasting food.
Yeah.
And
Thanks
to
for doing
your
that.
point, this is one of the craziest things I'm trying to wrap my head around, because a lot of these, the lockdown policies that we experienced, well, all over the world, but certainly here in America, right, that led to a lot of obesity, I mean, the numbers are actually astounding. I don't have them in front of me, but like, and that is actually the thing, aside from age and having some comorbidities, that actually makes you way more susceptible to COVID. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Is it like confirmed that it lives
Go keto.
lives
That's what I
in
do.
fat cells? Is that like an official scientific narrative now that COVID lives in fat cells?
I just saw that I just saw that headline. I haven't read the article yet. I have to look at it. It looks, I mean, you read something like that and you're like, I think I'm going to take a really close look at this before I just accept it.
There was an article from last year where they said that they tested ice cream tested positive for COVID in China, and they had to recall this ice cream. And it was in the ice cream, so I thought, okay, maybe it lives in animal fat. But
That's an
I've never
interesting
seen another
question.
article about it. Never saw it confirmed or denied. It just appeared in Newsweek, and then it was gone.
I'd say that even if it doesn't live in fat cells, it's probable that obesity weakens the immune system enough in every way that it's enough.
But they're
big enough.
trying to figure out why. They're trying to figure out
Yes.
why.
I will just say sugar is the devil.
That's right.
And get it out of there.
Yep.
You don't need it anymore.
You
It's bad.
Don't.
I'm doing keto right now too, man.
Oh, really?
I'm just
Are you?
trying. Yeah, I'm trying to lose a little bit. I just got hit with the sugar in here a little bit, but
You know
Sorry,
what,
all I had.
there was nothing
Yeah.
to it for me. I didn't care. I was skating, every day, and then one day I just accidentally only ate, high fat meat and cheese. I had like avocados for breakfast, and then I had heavy cream in my coffee, and then I was like, I just keep doing it, whatever. And then I ended up losing a bunch of weight, and I've just been feeling better and better.
See, I can't do the diets where you're like, oh, just do this much or to eat less, or like, this is really simple. No carbs. That's easy. I can do that, right?
Cut
It's
bread
not,
out.
it's not no carbs.
Yeah,
You gotta have
It's
some.
very, no, of course, because you'd be insane to
Also,
eat
if someone
vegetables.
if someone was a conspiracy theorist, and if there were central controllers out there, what would be better than having a disease out there that culls the population, especially the people who eat the most and the most elderly that don't work, don't produce anything, and and you have to give a pension to. What better way to slim the fat, literally and figuratively, if you were a central controller, hypothetically, theoretically, if you were doing that?
Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. If you want to watch live, you can check out this channel Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and if you want more unfiltered and uncensored content with all of these guests, go to timcast.com and become a member. All of these guests you know and love in exclusive segments on our website where we are unrestricted in what we talk about, so you'll definitely not want to miss it. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you all next time.